strong am I with the Force.
Hey everyone, welcome to the latest show, Wiltshire Ranks, the show where I rank 5 things in a certain topic in film, TV or pop culture. Today, in honour of the release of Coco, the latest Pixar movie, I am ranking my top 5 favourite Pixar movies. Now, just so people don't kill me in the comments, this is not necessarily what I consider the best, but they're just my favourites, the ones that affected me personally and I still love to this day. Okay, now the thing is, Pixar has made so many good films. I don't think they've made one single bad film apart from the Cars franchise. I've not seen any of the Cars franchise. I refuse to see the Cars franchise. I'll never see the Cars franchise. So shoot me if you think I should have not made this list if I haven't seen the Cars franchise. But I don't think any of the Cars franchise would appear on my top 5. They shouldn't appear on anyone's top 5, in my opinion. But that is my opinion. Pixar films are great, not only for the fact that they're so fun, they're original, they're actually original movies. Okay, in this industry, we don't normally get that much. But they're also are so good for kids and adults. I remember my parents saying when I was a kid, you know, how they loved going to Pixar films with me because there were jokes that they got that I didn't get. And now I'm an adult, I now get those jokes. But without further ado, let's start this Wiltshire Ranks. My number 5 is Finding Nemo. Now, before some of you shoot me because you're like, Finding Nemo is a great film, why is it number 5? It is a great film, and that's what I said. Pixar has made an enormous amount of great films. And so, one of your favourites might be lower on my list than you would put it. Now, to explain myself, Finding Nemo, I love this film, okay? But a few things put it at number 5 for me. One is the disappointing sequel. Yes, I know that shouldn't affect it, but they didn't need a sequel. The only sequel we want to a Pixar film is Incredibles 2, and it took them years to make it. Why did we get Finding Dory before Incredibles 2? We did not need it. Why? Okay, enough of that rant. Finding Nemo is a great adventure film in the ocean. It's so much fun for kids and adults alike. It's got some great characters from Bruce the Shark.
Fish are friends, not food.
Fish are friends, not food. From the seagulls, mine. I remember my brother used to annoy my pet events with that. To the pelican, I can't remember his name, crashed into the window. To all the fish friends in the fish tank, you know, from the one who's got damaged fin as well, like Nemo. To the French shrimp. To the one who keeps seeing her shadow flow in the tank. It's just so genius, and I do love this movie. And you've also got Squirt the Turtle and all these great moments along the way. From the just keep swimming, to fish are friends, not food, to the, B. Sherman, 41 Wallaby Way, Sydney. I probably said that wrong. I should have looked it up before this film. This film not only is a great story, but it's also a great, message for kids and adults alike. For kids, don't, just because you might have a disability or might feel at a disadvantage, doesn't mean you can't do things that other people can. And for parents to let their kids go, to let them grow up, to let them be themselves and not always be so worried about them. Yes, a parent is going to be worried about a kid. I know my parents are still worried about me. Considering how I was as a child, yeah, I can still see that worried about me. I still think this film is great, and I still love watching it, but they did not need a sequel. And my number 4 is one of the more recent films for Pixar. It is Inside Out. Now, Inside Out affected me at an emotional level that I didn't realise I had. Now, not only is it a great story of this kid growing up, learning to deal with these unexpected issues that she didn't expect to have, moving to a different place, moving to a different house, moving to a different school. Loads of kids have experienced that, trying to make new friends, leaving your friends behind. I remember when my parents kept asking me if I wanted to move back to Australia, I kept saying, no, I do not want to lose my friends. It had so many connections to me, and I saw this when I was 20, okay? I saw this when I was adult, but it still resonated with me when, I could remember, because I could still remember being a kid and going through those thoughts and issues. And not only did they do so well to do the emotions, they cast the emotions perfectly with Lucas Black as anger. That is hilarious. And then with the story, the genius moment when you find out that all Riley's joyful moments were actually built because of sadness. That you can't have joy without sadness. It is so beautiful, and I just love this film. And who didn't cry when Bing Bong sacrificed himself? Bing Bong. Okay, we all had imaginary friends, or I had imaginary enemies that I fought in the garden, but enough of that. Also the moments when, you know, joy learns to cry and learns to feel sadness. And I just think they were really clever, you know, showing growing up, showing puberty, how you get more emotions, how you learn to, you know, use them better as you grow up, all that console getting bigger and bigger. It was really well done. And finally, I just love the dinner table scenes with the parents and Riley, and, you know, the mum hinting at the father to speak, because it was so reminiscent of so many families, including mine. I remember when I was a kid and I was naughty, my mum would then yell at me, and then when my dad came home, my mum would tell my dad how I was naughty, and my dad would then come and yell at me because my mum told him to, probably. They'll probably yell at me for saying that, but never mind, moving on. I don't live at home anymore. Moving on to my number 3. Now, my number 3 is Toy Story 2. Now, I decided that I'd only put one of the Toy Stories on this list. And so I had a choice between Toy Story 2, or Toy Story 3. Or that direct-to-DVD movie, Toy Story Dinosaurs, or whatever it was called. I chose Toy Story 2 because I think I watched it at the right age. Toy Story 3 I did not watch as soon as it came out. I watched it like 3 years later, and I don't think that message hit me as hard as it would have if I'd been as young as when it came out. And in Toy Story, I loved that film as a kid. I remember seeing it at the cinema, but the animation improved massively in Toy Story 2, so that affected my decision for me. And I just think the story really works well in Toy Story 2. Not only does it build on this great universe, it just is. It's one of those few movies where the sequel is better than the first one, I think. It has a great adventure. It has some great new characters. Jessie, Bullseye. I loved Bullseye as a kid. Oh, and then you get to know more of the supporting characters, like Slinky the dog. I loved Slinky. And Rex. Who doesn't love Rex? And then you have the classic Zurg moment. I am your father. Parodying Darth Vader, obviously. But they have built these great characters and then added more in, and they've all fitted in the story, and they were cast really well. And then you have, you know, the great messages of, you know, for kids to play with their toys while they still have a chance, you know, don't forget about them. And also, you know, the friendship, you know, these toys going out in the big wide world to find their lost friend. Now, moving on to number 2. Number 2 is Monsters, Inc. Now, the thing is, I almost put Monsters University at this point because I've watched that so many times. But Monsters, Inc. is the better film. But I love Monsters University in some ways more because of certain moments, from the message in Monsters University about using your differences, using your, you know, just because you look different or are different doesn't mean you can't compete against everyone else, you know. And who doesn't love a great underdog story? But that, you couldn't have Monsters University without the brilliance that is Monsters Inc. From the great universe building with the monsters using kids' screams as energy and then finding laughter is more powerful. What a great message that is. To the message for kids, you know, conquer your fears. For Boo. Boo is such a genius character, you know, making her 3 years old, making her fear Vandal, but learn to conquer her fears by the end of the story. And who as a kid didn't think there was a monster living under their bed? Or as my brother thought, that there were velociraptors in the garden. He'll probably hate me for saying that as well on YouTube, but never mind, he probably doesn't watch these videos anyway. Now, moving on to my number 1 Pixar film. My number 1 Pixar film is The Incredibles. Now, not only did I rant about this earlier, why hasn't Incredibles 2 got a sequel? We just got the teaser trailer for it. I cannot wait. But Incredibles is such a genius movie. It has so many more layers after rewatching it. as I got older and older and older than I originally thought. Not only is it the best Fantastic Four movie ever created, it's just a great superhero film in general. It's one of the best superhero films. And also, it's just a great family film. To take a family and give them superpowers. But all these superpowers related to how they were depicted, you know. Violet, being a teenage girl, you know, she was quite shy. She was, you know, feeling bullied at school. So putting barriers up to protect her, becoming invisible, you know, all that. You have Dash, who's a kid, who's excited, you know, and he's super fast. He just wants to do everything. You then have Hallenpart or Elastigirl. You know, she's the mum. She's got to juggle so many things. She's got to feed the kids. She's got to take them to school. She's been a home mum. She has to be flexible, and you know, she has to juggle so many things. And that scene at the dinner table, taking that, you know, normal family fight like I remember having at the dinner table so many times with my brother and my parents not intervene, and putting it with superpowers. It was a genius move. And then you've got Bob Part or Mr. Incredible, you know. He's trying to be the man of the family. He wants to be the, you know, keep earning a keep. And he's a strong man. He's, you know, he has to be physically strong to be able to protect his family. And then you have Jack, who's a baby, who doesn't know what he is yet, because he's a baby. And so his powers haven't manifested, and when they do, he can't quite control them. It's so well done. And to have the fact that, you know, Brad Bird created this movie to sort of be a bit different from the comics he remembers seeing as a kid, to bad guys who definitely didn't have any remorse killing kids. You know, you could have thought those bad guys were trying to kill Violet and Dash. When Helen reveals that there's kids on the plane, Syndrome doesn't blink an eye, and having the kids not feeling any remorse for killing the bad guys who are trying to kill them. Okay? Dash even laughs when he learns to run on water. It's just so well done, and I think it's a great film, and I cannot wait for the sequel, and I hope the sequel not only builds on this universe, improves this universe, and does not tarnish what a great film the first one was. And so that was your Wiltshire ranks on the top 5 Pixar films. Now, what do you think of my top 5? Did you think I missed one? Should Ratatouille or Up have been in there? Or The Good Dinosaur? Or Cars? Please, do not say Cars should have been in the list. Now, let me know in the comments below what you thought. And don't forget to hit that like button. And follow me on Twitter. Link is in the description below. And subscribe for more. Until next time, thank you for watching. Bye.